This video is for helping you set up tracks to test inside the game and get them actually into the track file for people to play in the next update. So let's just drag in this track here since I already have Concrete Jungle open. And you can see it's already ready to go, it's just not added to the game yet. So one of the things we want to try to look at is getting it actually into the track file. So inside your project, let's type in the word tracks, and that will actually bring up this file right here. It's called the tracks file, which just basically contains all the tracks. So adding a new one into the game is pretty simple. So we also can do this for demo derbies, but since we're focusing on racetracks, we're going to go and make this 34. So it adds a new one to the bottom, which basically just duplicates the existing one. So not a big deal. So what we're going to do is grab the name of this file. Go back to the tracks file. And something else so super handy. See, there's a lock file here. If you lock this and then you click off onto something else, it does not change. It doesn't open the world object. It stays here. Super handy for getting names or copies of something. So let's try. So in the scene, so this is not, we're using Concrete Jungle. So in the scene names, let's see, let's confirm, make sure I get this right. The scene file for Concrete Jungle is Concrete Jungle. Okay, so Concrete Jungle, and the new track we don't have a name for technically yet, so we'll just go test for the moment. And the track prefab. So let's, on this one, it's already kind of pointing to the existing one, but if we go here and we open up the file and, oh, that's right. Sorry. If we open up the track file and find it here, we can drag into the prefab, bam. So now the track, this new track is now referencing this one. Oops, this test did not save. And from here, we can actually test it right now. The mini map is something that Marvin will do. Even I don't know how to do that. So that's a process that he's got figured out. But let's go ahead and test this. So one thing we want to do is go unlock this for the moment, and I'm going to hide this track, because if we're testing, we can actually hide, go back and forth. So I've hidden it, and I can just go play from here. Alright, pause, go back to the garage. And go to drive, quick play, racing, go all the way to the bottom. There's test. So first we want you to unlock it, so we go yes. And then I hit play. There. New track added to the game. That's all you got to do. Other than maybe setting a name, that's the main process for testing tracks inside the game. And then making sure everything's working good. So let's quit out of this for a moment. There's one more step that would be super handy, and that's creating the Photoshop file for it. So let's go to tracks again and open that up. I want to come back to this, and here is the track layout. And what I do is I'll take it for a moment and get up to the top view and just drag it way off scene so I get a view of it, and then I click Y, which makes it straight, and then I click the isometric view, and I press F to focus on the track. So now I've got this neat little line layout, and I'm gonna print screen that object and just get a copy of the track here. Copy. Awesome. So I already have Photoshop open, and there's a file in here I'll point out. So we're going to go new, and I want to just keep this Photoshop file. And one of the cool tricks I do in Photoshop is do the magic wand selector, and then I will select the red on everything. So you see here it's all selected. And I will make a new layer and expand this by, well, this is a pretty big track, so I'm going to maybe expand it by 8, let's say. That's okay. And now there's a color for tracks, which I'm just going to eyedrop this color right here to blue, and go back to this track. And this new layer, I can do fill basically, and there's the fill of the track. One thing I'm not sure about is where the start finish line is for this. Oh, there it is, green. There it is. Go back to Photoshop. There's my start finish line. One of the neat tricks we do for the start finish line is we'll select where it's at and then invert the color. There, orange. That's the start finish line. And this loop, one of the things I like to do in the image is sort of cut away the bridge section. So whatever's underneath, I cut away a smidge of it. So let's see what kind. I didn't make this track. So the part underneath is the loop. So I thought, all right. So then we go back to Photoshop, and what I'm going to do is just select this right here and this right here. About good enough. There, delete. And now we've got a neat outline of the track that's going to go in the game. In here, I have a bunch of layers already sort of hidden, and right where it says maps, that is sort of a pre-made effect. See how there's like a black fuzzy outline around the tracks? That's already in there in this set. So we're going to go new layer again, and I'm hide this track, and I'm going to paste. I'm like, okay, so it's really huge, which is fine. We'll just go free transform, and we're just going to move it around a little bit. And generally I like to aim for the image being sort of right side, and I'll turn it to be a little bit more artistic, just sort of fun like that, nothing crazy. And yeah, that's good enough. Perfect. And now the image is wrong in the background. Not a big deal. We already have these already kind of preset up. So concrete jungle layer, you just turn it on, and there you go. Concrete jungle layer map. And we will file, save as, and we make a PNG file. And this is Lucas's concrete jungle map 1. All right. Now we go back to Unity, and we no longer actually need this track in the file, in the track file. So we're not really dealing, or in the scene file, I should say, we're not dealing with it anymore. But we are dealing with the mini maps. I'm sorry, not the track map, the picture of it. And when these files originally come in, where's Lucas? There it is. It's not set up properly. So if you look at your like this information, it's pretty easy to save. What I like to do is I'll screenshot a correct one, and then I will actually just kind of take a copy of it, and I use this as my reference to fill in the information. So if I were to just drag this over just for a sec so that I can see what's going on. Alright, so now I click on the image I imported, and I set it to sprite, and say single, tight, center. I don't need to have this checked. I can uncheck this, I can uncheck that, set that to none. Everything else is the same, and then apply. It's now created this to a 2D sprite. Alright, so now we can go back to our tracks file, and right where it says right now it's still referencing the Canyon Race 4 map. So now I'm going to bring in that Lucas file here, drag it into there, and that should be it. Now we just go ahead and hit play. Oops. And pause the game, go to the garage, and if we go to quick play, racing, back down to the bottom again, there's the track with the screenshot and everything already preset up, ready to go. The only thing we should do at this point, though, is give it a proper name. That's a huge track, so I don't know what we would call it. But this is Lucas's track, so we'll go ahead and call it the Lucas Mile, just for fun. So anyway, hope this process helps you out, and looking forward to seeing your tracks in the game.